Assalamu alaikum. I am Dr. Sania. We will discuss the general anatomy of circulatory system in two lectures. This is my first lecture. For the circulatory system, as you already know, that heart is a very important component. It has four chambers: right atrium, right ventricle, left atrium and left ventricle. And you must know about its flow, as you know that all the deoxygenated blood from the body is conducted by the superior vena cava and the inferior vena cava, and they enter into the right atrium. From this, the deoxygenated blood will enter into the right ventricle, and through the pulmonary artery it will go into the lung for the oxygenation. Then from the lungs through the pulmonary vein, the blood will enter into the left atrium and then through the wall into the left ventricle. After that, through the aorta, this oxygenated blood will deliver to the whole body. This was just the path of the blood, how it flow. You can see here, this is superior vena cava. This one is the inferior vena cava. And both these veins are conducting the deoxygenated blood from the body and entering into the right atrium, then right ventricle. Then these are going into the pulmonary artery, then through the pulmonary vein they will enter into the left atrium, then left ventricle, and then through the aorta it will deliver the oxygenated blood to the whole body. If we discuss about the circulatory system, it has mainly vascular system, which is the most common, then circulation of the CSF in the CNS, then circulation of the perilymphatic fluid in internal ear, and circulation of endocochlear fluids in the internal ear. The most important vascular system deals with the study of the circulation of blood and lymph of the body. So it has mainly two divisions. Number one is the cardiovascular system and second one is the lymphatic system. Firstly, we will discuss the cardiovascular system. As the name indicates, it is the system of vessels in which blood circulates. It is of mainly three types. Number one is the pulmonary circulation, from where the right side of the heart to the lung, where carbon dioxide leaves the blood and oxygen is absorbed. Second one is the systemic circulation, from the left side of the heart to the organs. And third type of CVS is the portal circulation. This is the diagram showing the pulmonary circulation, where the pulmonary artery and pulmonary veins are involved. Deoxygenated blood enter into the lungs through the pulmonary arteries, and then through the pulmonary vein the oxygenated blood enters into the heart. The right side of the heart pumps blood from the heart to the lungs, and in the lungs carbon dioxide leaves the blood while oxygen is absorbed. The oxygen-rich blood goes into the left side of the heart. In case of the systemic circulation, the oxygen-rich blood from the left side of the heart is pumped to the rest of the body. In both the systemic and pulmonary circulation, the arterial blood passes through only one set of capillaries to the venous side. Portal circulation. Arterial blood passes through two sets of capillaries. So this is the difference from the systemic circulation, that in that case, as we discussed, that in both the systemic and pulmonary circulation, which are the types of cardiovascular system, there is just one set of capillaries involved. But in case of portal circulation, which is the third type of the cardiovascular system, there is involvement of two sets of capillaries, which will finally to be drained into the heart. This takes place at three sites: hepatic portal circulation, hypothalamo-hypophyseal portal circulation, and renal portal circulation. We will discuss them one by one, these types of portal circulation. Firstly, we will discuss the hepatic portal circulation. As the name indicates, one set of capillaries will be in the liver. So, one set of capillaries situated in the walls of the abdominal viscera, which drain into the portal vein. Portal vein again ramifies into the second set of capillaries, which drain into the portal vein, and the portal vein again ramifies into the second set of capillaries in liver as hepatic sinusoids, which drain into the systemic veins. Hypothalamo-hypophyseal portal circulation. Here the first set of capillaries is in the hypothalamus, which drain through the hypothalamo-hypophyseal veins. They will ramify into the hypophyseal capillaries, which is in the pituitary gland, and then through the hypophyseal veins they will arise the systemic veins. Then is the type of portal circulation is renal portal circulation, where arterial in type, because first set of capillaries is located between two arteries like a glomerulus. Glomerulus means a bunch of capillaries. It is between the afferent and the efferent arterioles, from where the efferent arterioles will arise and they will divide into this second set of capillaries, which are known as the peritubular capillaries, and they will drain into the systemic veins, means the renal vein. As you see that in these types of portal circulation, each type of portal circulation involved two set of capillaries, while in case of systemic circulation there was just one set of capillaries. This is just a diagram showing the vessels and all the vascular system of the body, the veins and the arteries arising from the heart. Again, this is the set of capillaries are showing. You can see here, these are the capillaries of the head and the arms. This is showing the superior vena cava. This is the heart, pulmonary artery, capillaries of the left lung, capillaries of abdominal organs and legs, and capillaries of the right leg. You can see here the superior vena cava will collect the deoxygenated blood from the capillaries of head and arms, and the inferior vena cava will collect deoxygenated blood from the legs. This is the diagram showing the pulmonary circulation and systemic circulation. So now the second type of cardiovascular system is the lymphatic system. It deals with the circulation of the lymph and includes lymph organs, which are spleen, thymus and gut associated lymphoid tissue, lymph vessels and lymph nodes. Now we come to the classification of the blood vessels. On the basis of the anatomical and physiological characteristics, you can see here there are two types of main vessels, arteries and the veins. In arteries, you can see here this is the endothelium, which is covered by the smooth muscles, and this is the connective tissue. These arteries will divide into the bunch of capillaries, and they will again form the venule and the large vein, which also have the connective tissue, smooth muscle, endothelial lining, which forms the valve. Valves are only present in the veins. Arteries, large vessels that carry blood away from the heart to the tissues of the body. Except for the pulmonary arteries, all arteries carry the oxygen-rich blood. So, only the pulmonary artery is the exception, otherwise all arteries carry the oxygenated blood. Arteries have thick walls of elastic connective tissue and contractible smooth muscle and epithelial cells that help them withstand the powerful pressure produced when the heart contracts and pushes blood into the arteries. Now we'll divide the arteries into various types. Number one is the large-sized arteries, which are also known as the conduction vessels. They have elastic tissue more than the muscular tissue. Their examples are the aorta, the branches of arch of aorta, terminal branches of aorta, and their function is to conduct the blood. Then we have the medium-sized muscular arteries, which are also known as the distribution vessels. They have the elastic tissue and muscular tissue in equal proportion. Their examples are the branching of ascending and descending thoracic aorta, branches of abdominal aorta, radial, ulnar, femoral, and tibial arteries, and their function is to distribute blood into the regional vessels. Then we have the small-sized muscular arteries, which are also the distribution vessels. Their muscular tissue is more as compared to the elastic tissue, and their examples are the further branches of medium-sized muscular arteries. Their function is again the distribution. And then is the arterioles, which are also known as the resistance vessels. They have only the muscular tissue. You should keep it in mind that arterioles only have the muscular tissue. Their function is to provide the resistance to blood flow, thus mediating the blood pressure. Then we have the meta-arterioles, which are also known as resistance vessels. These have precapillary sphincters. What are precapillary sphincters? These are the slight swelling due to the localized accumulation of myocytes at their termination into the capillaries. Then they will further divide into the capillaries, which are also known as the sinusoids or the exchange vessels. Here there will be the free exchange between the tissue fluid and the blood. Then capillaries will join and form the venules, which are the exchange vessels. Here just a little bit exchange will occur. Then these venules will form the small-sized muscular veins, which are also known as the capacitance or reservoir vessels. They accompany the small-sized muscular arteries and they accommodate sufficient volume of blood in the form of a reservoir. Then there will be the formation of medium-sized muscular vein. They accompany the medium-sized muscular arteries. They can also accommodate sufficient volume of blood in the form of a reservoir. Then medium-sized muscular vein will combine to form the large-sized muscular vein. They will accompany large-sized elastic arteries. Superior vena cava, inferior vena cava with major tributaries are the examples. And they have dead space around them for their dilation during increased venous return. This is the diagram showing the capillaries where just you can see here one erythrocyte can pass, one RBC. These are the smallest of the blood vessels connecting arteries and veins. Walls are 1 cell thick, allowing for easier diffusion of nutrients and oxygen from capillaries to the body cells and waste and carbon dioxide from body cells to capillaries. Then we have the veins where they return blood to the heart. Veins have walls of connective tissue and smooth muscles. They have walls that keep blood flowing towards the heart. Many veins are located near skeletal muscles, so when the muscle contracts, they help force blood through the veins even against gravity. Exercise helps prevent accumulation of blood in limbs and stretching veins out of the shape. Now we have some disorders of cardiovascular system. Disorders of the circulatory system are very common. They are mainly high blood pressure, heart attack, stroke. Most stem from atherosclerosis, which have the fatty deposits or plaque built up on the walls of arteries, and they cause the obstruction in the blood flow. So resultantly there will be the increase in the blood pressure and risk of blood clots. This is the normal vessel. This is the atherosclerosis. You can see here this is the plaque of cholesterol and there is the narrowing of the vessel. And here the clot is formed. Thank you so much. This is all.